You just did it, right there. One of the 6 habits that kills engines before their time. And you did not even notice. Engine replacement, $8,000. And the habit that caused it felt completely harmless every single time. The average engine replacement costs between $4,000 and $10,000. And in the vast majority of cases, it was not a manufacturing defect, not bad luck, and not unavoidable wear. It was a handful of habits, small, daily, completely invisible in the moment, that accumulated over years into catastrophic internal damage. Engines that reach 200,000, 300,000, even 700,000 miles do not get there by accident. They get there because their drivers knew something most people do not. In the next 8 minutes, you will learn the 6 habits that destroy engines early, and exactly what to do instead. Number 6, the cold start. It is early morning. You start the engine, shift into drive, and pull straight out onto the road at normal speed. The engine sounds fine. Temperature gauge is climbing. Everything seems normal. But in the first 30 to 60 seconds after a cold start, your engine oil has not yet fully circulated to the upper engine components. The camshafts, valve train, and cylinder walls are running with minimal lubrication. This is the single most wear-intensive phase of any drive. Aggressive acceleration during this window causes metal-on-metal contact in components that should never run dry. What almost no one figures out on their own, the fix is not idling for 10 minutes. That wastes fuel and does not circulate oil effectively either. The fix is driving gently for the first 2 to 3 minutes. Light throttle, low revolutions per minute, no hard acceleration. Let oil pressure build and reach every surface before you demand performance from the engine. Number 5, the oil stretch. Your oil change reminder comes on. You have 300 miles left on the interval. You think, close enough, I will get it next week. Next week becomes next month. This happens twice a year. Over 5 years, that is potentially 3 to 4 skipped oil changes worth of degraded oil running through your engine. Used motor oil does not just lubricate less effectively. It becomes acidic, breaks down into sludge, and coats internal surfaces with deposits that restrict oil flow permanently. Sludge damage is irreversible. It cannot be flushed out. It lives in your engine forever. What the extended interval sticker does not say. Modern synthetic oils are robust, but no oil lasts forever regardless of the number on that sticker. In high heat climates, stop-and-go traffic, or older engines, oil degrades faster than the interval assumes. When in doubt, change it early. An oil change costs $40 to $80. The engine it protects costs 100 times that. Number 4, the low level. You check your oil and it reads just below the minimum line on the dipstick. You figure it will be fine until the next change, maybe another 1,000 miles. What you do not realize is that running low on oil does not just reduce lubrication. It reduces the oil's ability to absorb and carry away heat. A full sump of oil distributes engine heat across a large volume of fluid. A low sump concentrates that heat in a smaller volume. The oil temperature spikes, it breaks down faster, and the lubrication film on critical surfaces becomes thinner exactly when the engine needs it most. The thing your dashboard will never warn you about. Oil consumption between changes is normal, especially in higher mileage engines. Check your oil level every 2 to 3 fill-ups, not just at oil changes. Keeping the level between the minimum and maximum marks at all times costs nothing and prevents the kind of accelerated wear that takes years off an engine's life without a single warning light. Number 3, the wrong oil. You are at the auto parts store. Your car takes 5W30 motor oil. They are out of it. You grab 5W20 because it is close enough. Same viscosity when cold, similar when warm, right? Wrong. Engine oil viscosity ratings are not suggestions. They are engineering specifications. The wrong viscosity creates an oil film that is either too thin to maintain the hydrodynamic barrier between moving parts or too thick to flow quickly enough through tight oil passages during cold starts. Either way, metal contacts metal where it should never contact. Most drivers stop reading at the viscosity number, but that is only half the specification. Oil also carries an API service rating, a 2-letter code on the bottle. Using an oil with a lower service rating than your engine requires means it lacks the additive package your engine was designed around. Always match both the viscosity and the service rating printed in your owner's manual. Not approximately. Exactly. Number 2. The temperature ignore. Your temperature gauge has been sitting at its normal position for years. One day, it creeps slightly above center. You notice it. You keep driving. The next day, it is back to normal. You forget about it. What you missed was your cooling system signaling that something is wrong. A failing thermostat, early coolant leak, or a water pump beginning to fail. Running an engine even slightly above its designed operating temperature accelerates wear on every internal component simultaneously. Head gasket failure from overheating can cost $1,500 to $2,500 to repair. The reading that fools almost every driver, a temperature gauge that spikes and recovers, is often more dangerous than one that climbs steadily, because it suggests an intermittent problem that is easy to dismiss. Any deviation from your gauge's normal resting position is a warning. Treat it as one. A thermostat replacement costs $150 to $300. The head gasket it saves costs 10 times that. Number 1. The heat soak shutdown. You pull into your driveway after a hard highway drive, engine working hard, turbocharger spinning at over 100,000 revolutions per minute if your car has one, exhaust temperatures at their peak. You park, shut off the engine, and walk inside. Everything cools down over the next hour. Seems fine, but in the moment you shut off that engine, oil circulation stopped. The turbocharger, and still holding enormous heat, now has no oil flowing through its bearings. That residual heat cooks the oil trapped inside into varnish deposits that slowly destroy the bearing surfaces. Here's the truth that separates engines that last from engines that do not. After any hard drive, let the engine idle for 60 to 90 seconds before shutdown. Oil keeps circulating. Heat dissipates gradually. Turbo bearings stay lubricated through the cool-down phase. It costs you 90 seconds. It is the single most protective habit you can build, and the last one standing between your engine and the repair bill that changes everything.